missed rows on True TV, 76,000. I said this last time. Shout out to Mrs. Me Too.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
You may be wondering what went wrong when Angel Reese was meant to be the next great thing in women's basketball, but things aren't going as planned. The unrivaled league's viewership is declining, and fans are abandoning the game in large numbers. Let's examine the surprising demise of Angel Reese and the unequaled league, as well as the reasons why people are refusing to watch, to understand how a player with so much hype ended up serving as the face of a failing league.
Hey, just when you thought ratings for Unrivaled could not get any lower, America sends a clear message. Actually, America sent them a clear reminder: we are not interested in watching pretend basketball.
Rewind to when this league first started, when the hype was incredible and 300,000 people watched the first few games. Angel Reese was supposed to be the face of this revolution, and everyone was saying that she would be the next big thing, the player who would make us all forget about college ball. Remember how everyone thought the unmatched league was going to change women's basketball forever? Well, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare.
Let me know, wasn't it Angel Reese that said, people are tuning in for her? Not just that one girl, but people are tuning in for her too. And that she was part of the reason that we had the rise in ratings. But here's where...
When Reese plays, you might be wondering, wait, isn't Angel Reese supposed to be a superstar? Because that's what everyone thought, but the truth is that it's been a completely different story. As the season progressed, those viewer numbers started dropping faster than a bad shot, and we're talking about games barely hitting 100,000 viewers.
Angel Reese might be well known. Angel Reese may be a star on social media, but there's a huge difference between a star and a draw. The truth is, Angel Reese is not a draw.
The league placed all of its money on Reese's star power, expecting her to draw fans like Caitlin Clark, but guess what? Instead of dominating, Rhea is struggling and looking lost, getting benched for players like Lexi Hall. Can you believe it? The player who is meant to represent the league is viewing from the sidelines, while others take the initiative.
Lexi Hall, Indiana Fever saved their ass. But that's not the point. It's funny how that works. When Angel is sidelined and the focus isn't on her, look at me, her teams, generally speaking, actually get a victory. Why doesn't this tell anybody anything?
You may be asking why fans aren't paying attention when Angel Reese plays. The answer is straightforward. They aren't witnessing the dominant performer they were hoping for. It's like seeing a whole different player from the one we saw in college because Reese isn't living up to the hype. She struggles on defense, doesn't seem to be able to contribute on offensively, and appears to be out of sync with her team.
The individual star power doesn't seem to be drawing crazy. Just doesn't seem to be changing anything. Because the Phantom, with or without Sabrina, get the same amount of views.
However, this is where things start to get really interesting as other players rise up while Reese is struggling. It seems as though the league lucked across a star when their selected one fizzled, but Kate Martin, who wasn't even on most people's radar, is out there balling. She's consistent, influential, and doing everything Reese was meant to do.
But we've got to be completely honest here. It is a league first and foremost, and the most important thing is that the league long-term is going to be profitable, or at least it looks like it has the potential to be. Otherwise, once that TV deal is done in 3 years, it's over. And right now, this has not been the greatest look in the world for Unrivaled. And
let's not forget about Caitlin Clark, who isn't even in this league, but her shadow looms large every time her name appears. It's like a painful reminder of what the Unrivaled League is missing. Instead of creating their own superstar, they're left with a tournament without the real deal. Alright, let's dive into the numbers because they're telling a story that will blow your mind. You might be thinking that there are only a few bad games, but stay put because what's happening with the Unrivaled League is far worse than anyone could have imagined.
Angel Reese specifically has been brutally exposed, and her own fans have stopped watching her in this thing. they have stopped watching. How do you know? 89,000 viewers last Saturday when she was on TV. 89.
Remember that huge debut with 300,000 viewers? Well, those days are long gone. Some games are barely drawing 100,000, and it gets worse when Angel Reese performs. For example, last Saturday's game included Angel Reese on the court during prime time. How many people do you think watched? 89,000. That's all they could manage in a league that was meant to transform women's basketball.
The Rose and Lunar Owls game had 89,000 people. There were less than 100,000 people watching this game. I mean, that is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like, this was a game where Angel Reese played. She is supposed to be the biggest draw in the league, but here.
The numbers actually increase when other players, like Kate Martin on the court. It seems as though spectators are purposefully ignoring Reese's games. This is where things get very interesting. People are no longer paying attention to the player who is meant to represent the league.
The battle between Dejanay Carrington and Angel Reese barely broke 75,000 viewers. 76,000 viewers? Are you kidding me? Are you shitting me right now? And tell me again how you're moving the needle. I kid you not. If Caitlin Clark would have played in that game, it would have got 5.
You may be wondering now if this is just Reese or if the league as a whole is disintegrating. It turns out that the league is relying on star power, but in the absence of real superstars like Caitlin Clark, it is finding it difficult to maintain interest, and Reese is becoming into the spokesperson for that failure.
It's not just my calculations. Headline of the Sports Business Journal, Unrivaled averaging 204,000 viewers to date. Monday night, there were 2 more games broadcast on TNT. The first game was between the Vinyl and the Phantom. Interesting choice of words, Phantom. It perfectly describes their ratings. Their audience is a ghost. They literally cannot find people with...
The league's average viewership has decreased to 204,000. The numbers are getting worse every week, and people are beginning to wonder if this league can even survive. However, the worst part is that it's not just about who's playing, it's also about how they're playing. Experts say that Reese's presence might not be the draw they were hoping for because her college performance set the bar high. But now,
she's not living up to the hype, and fans are noticing.
Angel Reese failed to break 100,000 viewers. Now tell me again how everybody's tuning in for you.
You've got to...
Imagine this Angel Reese standing at the logo crowd, holding their breath, about to take a deep 3 Caitlin Clark style. This is her moment to silence the doubters. You have to wonder what the league is going to do. They bet everything on creating their own superstar, but instead they're left without the real deal. Every time her name is mentioned, it's like a painful reminder of what the unrivaled league is missing. Time appears to slow down as the ball leaves her hands arcing in the air, but then whoosh, it's not just a miss. It's an air-all so awful that the entire audience groans.
Like, when Angel Reese shot that deep 3, it was 10 seconds of silence after the air ball. No one knew what to say. It's completely fine to say, I like the confidence, probably a bit too far for Angel Reese. I like the confidence in her shooting it though. Like, that is a not negative point now.
However, when Angeli made that deep 3, there were 10 seconds of silence following the air ball, and nobody knew what to say. It's perfectly acceptable to say, I like the confidence in her shooting it though, as that is not a bad point. You may be thinking that everyone makes bad shots, but this wasn't just any shot. This was Reese's attempt to demonstrate that she could effortlessly perform the same feats as Caitlin Clark, and let me tell you, it backfired greatly. It's like seeing someone attempt to perform a magic trick they saw on TV only to discover it's a dirty sock.
The other day where she lined up for that wide open top of the key 3 and then airballed it. Holy crap, the fallout from that is still ongoing right now. She's still getting crushed.
However, as Reese is out there shooting up air balls, this is where things start to get really interesting. Kate Martin is playing like a real pro. She isn't attempting to be someone else. She is just giving it her best, creating plays, and winning with her team. Martin is letting her game speak for itself and speculating about what fans are taking notice of.
But it's probably not one individual player that has benefited more from Unrivaled than Kate Martin. Look, Kate Martin was somebody that came into the WNBA and nobody, and I mean nobody, thought she was going to make the Las Vegas Aces roster. Like, the Las Vegas Aces drafted 3 players. Obviously, Liz Kitley was injured. Everyone thought kind of, Liz Kitley's probably going to go make that Vegas team eventually. And a lot of people thought that Asia Fair was going to make that team. But that Asia Fair gets cut, Kate Martin makes the team, and within 5 games, she's a...
You may be wondering how bad things are for Rays, but let me give you a glimpse. She may be benched soon. Yes, the league's alleged face could soon be watching from the sidelines as Lexi Hull takes her place. Can you imagine that it would be like casting Tom Cruise in your film and then giving all of his lines to the actor who plays Man in Coffee Shop Number 3?
Angel Reese got a little bit of her own medicine last night from Kate Martin. Now, she flopped around on the ground like she's LeBron's play cousin out there, because we know he's the ultimate flopper.
That airball has come to represent everything that is wrong with Reese's performance in the Premier League. She seems to be trying to win a dance competition by dancing the robot, which may look good for a while but won't get you any awards. It simply goes to show that you never know what will happen in professional sports, which is what keeps us all on the edge of our seats. Can you believe we're even having this discussion about Angel Reese, the athlete who is meant to represent the unmatched league?
Lexi Hull showing Angel Reese how it's done. It was an awful game for Angel Reese. Guys, she's getting...
Let's examine what's actually happening here. You may recall that Angel Reese was expected to be the next big thing, but now that she's being benched for players like Lexi Hull, you heard correctly. It's not only that Reese is having trouble, she's being outperformed by players that nobody was even discussing when the league first began, and that has to be painful.
Angel Reese does not belong in this league. Angel Reese, this league is a paycheck for Angel Reese.
However, while Reese is struggling, this is when things start to become really interesting. You have to ask yourself, what would this league look like if Caitlin Clark were in it? Would we even be talking about Rays? Or would she be just another player trying to keep up? Because she is not only living up to the expectations, but beyond it.
Let's be honest, Laces and Rose was Kate Martin versus Lexi Hull. We know who those fans were there to watch. It was Kate Martin versus Lexi Hull. We can be honest here, that was the matchup that people wanted to see. And in fairness, some people want to see the Kate Martin versus Angel Reese matchup. But the people up there watching them were there specifically to watch that matchup, maybe the other matchup. But
Reese's difficulties are bringing to light a more significant issue. Without superstars like Clark, this league lacks the star power it needs, and fans are voting with their remote controls and tuning off in large numbers when Reese plays. It's as if they can see right through the hip.
Court line, because she's dangerous from everywhere. Like, you're watching Putin against her. Like, Caitlin Clark's going to be in that conversation here for a year.
You may be wondering if Angel Reese's career is over before it even began, but wait, there are more twists than a pretzel factory in this tale. We've seen her excel in college, but the secret to her professional success is something no one is discussing. Is it her training, her mindset, or is there something going on behind the scenes that we're unaware of? Because let me tell you, the difference between college and professional Reese is like night and day.
We take no days off over here, folks. We take no days off over here. Caitlin Clark in the gym, of course, getting in some work. On her birthday, the job is not done.
The unrivaled league's big bet on Angel Reese is crashing and burning, and it's not just Reese that's revealing how much this league needs real superstars to survive without game-changing players like Caitlin Clark. However, there's still one more twist that could completely change the story. Most people believe that Angel Reese simply can't hack it at the pro level, but some believe that she may be dealing with issues we can't even see. The real shock is that both of these theories could be incorrect because there is a wild card factor that nobody has yet taken into consideration.
It's a pretty poor-looking product on television from an attendance standpoint. Like, what they should have done, pulled an AEW here, put a bunch of seats back here, and packed everybody on this one back side.
What do you think will happen next? Will Reese find her groove, or will the league continue to spiral? Let us know in the comments. So, can the unmatched league turn things around? Or is this the beginning of the end for a league that promised so much but delivered so little? One thing is for sure, pro basketball hype only gets you so far. At the end of the day, your game does the talking, and right now, Angel Reese's game isn't saying much at all.